like he also said, until the vice president spoke, more or less, the issue of politicization of COVID-19 had not generated national debate. And for that matter, I would say the analysis we are doing based on what the vice president said must be situated within context and draw the antecedents to that. You realize that since the beginning of COVID-19, government officials led by the president have done their best, tried as much as possible to rally the entirety of the Ghanaian community behind them to find lasting solutions to that. At no point has government tried to politicize the COVID-19, its management, and the way forward. But if you flip the coin, you could see a deliberate attempt from our friends in the NDC, led by their party leaders, and the leader of the opposition, Mr. Mahama, who has had the opportunity to be a president before. And I say this because even at the time that the president announced the lockdown, we had the General Secretary of the NDC, Mr. Johnson Asidun Ketia, affectionately known as General Mosquito, come out to address the press, and we saw the videos all out, to suggest that the lockdown announced by government and the president is nothing but a clandestine move to rig the election through the Electoral Commission. It was a bit surprising to a lot of Ghanaians, but that was the mindset that was demonstrated by the NDC through their General Secretary. It did not end there.
Well, as we speak, the Electoral Commission and its processes towards compiling a new voters register, among others, have become a subject of a court suit. Exactly. I think just yesterday there was a suit against them. The biometric verification machines that they are seeking to procure and everything, someone is seeking to stop them from doing it. And the new law that they are seeking to have, which will not include certain other identifiers for registration, is also being challenged in the courts. Let's see how all that goes.
So thanks for that information. But it still does not absolve Mr. Johnson Asidun Ketia from the fact that he was trying to politicize the whole matter of an action taken by government that has no bearing to do with the Electoral Commission. That aside, we had the Member of Parliament on the ticket of the NDC, my good sister, Dr. Zanato Rollins, come out to make wild allegations that government is politicizing the distribution of food, and that if you did not hold the New Patriotic Party card, you are not given food. This was a big untruth. But it was, again, an attempt by the NDC to politicize the whole COVID-19 and also throw shades at government. Then we had the whole NDC come out, led by Mr. Mahama, to say that they have also set up their own COVID-19 management or monitoring team, of which my good friend at New York, Dr. Kwache, is part of. And so you could see there was an attempt by the NDC to kind of also create some parallel governance structure, what I call COVID-19 parallel governance structure. And this is highly unbecoming of any opposition party across the globe in terms of the management of COVID-19. I have not heard any country where opposition political parties are setting up management or monitoring structures separate from what the government is doing.
That doesn't make it wrong, does it?
Well,
but they announced, they said their intention was to contribute.
But we can critique it. We can also subject it to interrogation as to what was the motive. Couldn't they have rallied behind government just as all other institutions and corporate bodies are doing? And if we tie that one in to the two I have mentioned about Mr. Asidun Ketia's and Dr. Rollins' commentary by members of the NDC and Mr. Mahama's attempt to also either precede President Akufo-Addo's address to the nation or address the nation after President Akufo-Addo has spoken anytime the president was supposed to speak. And you remember, even when the president spoke, addressed the nation and announced measures, mitigating measures that his government was putting in place to ameliorate the sufferings of the people, our brothers from the NDC quickly jumped to the radio stations and television stations to say that, oh, the president is copying President Mahama's idea, because before he had spoken, Mr. Mahama had also addressed the press and put forward these measures. So there was a deliberate attempt by the NDC and Mr. Mahama to politicize COVID-19, throw shades at government. And in the comments of Mr. Mahama, he just played one. He says that, oh, government is not doing well. Government is performing so abysmally. If you look at the measures government is putting in place, they are not the best of measures. The economy is on its knees. We are scrambling and all of that. That was politics. Nobody can say that those comments, the actions of former President Mahama and his party were not an attempt to politicize the
That was politics.